Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with Savannah Marshall, heading rapidly towards her PFL MMA debut. Savannah, excited, nervous? Excited, nervous? Bit of both. How you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've been training hard. 9 months I've been doing this, and it has just flew like that. Didn't actually realise it was that long. But I'm excited. It's been tough, really tough. Transitioning a lot harder than what I thought. But I just want to June the 8th next week, and then I'll be an MMA fighter.
An exciting prospect indeed. Just in a general sense, how chalk and cheese has been the different surroundings that you've plunged yourself into compared to the boxing world?
Massively. Massively. Even down to the transition. What benefited me in boxing does not benefit me in this at all. You're a lot more square on. You're a lot more over the front foot. Total overhaul.
How hard has it been to, try and fight against that and try not to revert back to what you do best?
Well, it's instinct, isn't it? You think I've been boxing for 20 plus years, and this is what, not the fear, but when it gets tough in there, am I going to go back to the way I box?
One of the main parts of your assets is not only the boxing skill, but the fact that you hit really hard. You now maybe have an advantage here that you've not got the 10-ounce gloves on. The gloves are a lot smaller. Have you seen that affected in your sparring, and do you feel that's going to be one of the things that really kind of set you apart from any of the women that you encounter because you have that power and are able to utilize that with smaller gloves this time around?
To be honest, when you've got them little gloves on, it feels amazing. It really, really does. Yeah, your hands just feel so much faster. But then on the flip side, my opponent's got 4-ounce gloves on as well. So you've got to be wary of what's coming back.
How well have you been able to affect your learning in the sparring that you've got, or in the BJJ practices that you've been doing with other fighters?
Humbling. It's been really humbling. I learned quite quickly that there's no room for ego in this. Especially very early on, I was getting bloody strangled by 15-year-old kids. And you're thinking I went from the elite, well level, to absolute novice overnight.
Did that ever dampen your spirit? I mean, you're a competitor. I just wonder how you took to that.
I used to drive, so I used to train like with these lot on a morning, and then on a night I'd go to beginner classes just to get a little bit more in. And I used to drive home on a night, be shaken, and I should just think, what have I done? Why have I committed to this? But look, 9 months on, I'm absolutely loving it.
Now, sometimes what happens when a boxer looks to transition into the MMA world, they're going to take to you in Newcastle because that's the surrounding area that you're from. The people have bought a ticket to come see you. But in future fights, the MMA fans they'll respect your accolades, but they might not want to support you as much as they would an MMA fighter because of your background. Have you had a sense of that at all, or do you feel that might come in future fights?
I don't know about that, but I get that. Look, my fan base are boxing fans. My family and friends are boxing fans. So I think that it's been quite hard, but for a lot of, how would I say it? A lot of my family and friends are coming to watch me have my MMA debut, and they've never watched MMA in their life. So I think it's going to be a bit of kind of people don't know what they're watching type of thing. But look, I went to watch MMA live 2 years ago, and I was a little bit the same. I just hope that people aren't put off by it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The other side to it as well is that your PFL rivals might take to it and say, well, this lady who's coming from a different world is getting these opportunities. She's headlining all of a sudden. I want them opportunities. I've been striving. Have you had a sense of that as well, either from any of your competitors in the PFL?
No, I haven't, but I did think everyone else on the undercard must be like looking up thinking, this bitch hasn't even look at this bitch just fought in, she hasn't even fought in the cage before and she's headlining. So I have thought that. But yeah, look, there was a time when I was like bottom of the pile. I turned pro as an Olympian, former world champion, and I was boxing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So sorry guys, but we've all got to start somewhere. It was me. Well, I was in that position once, but We've got to grab the opportunities.
Absolutely. No stranger, this arena, to you in the boxing scene. I believe I was ringside for one of your fights, Savannah Marshall versus Curry, was it? I think it was on the undercard of Ritson, yeah. So is that a little bit of a comfort coming into a night where there might be some nerves creeping in towards the debut?
No, I remember when they asked me about my debut and I said, oh, look, I don't mind going abroad. I don't mind being on someone's undercard because it's a bit of less pressure. And then they come and said, look, we want to take you to Newcastle for your debut, for you to headline. And I thought, yeah, if you're going to do it, just go big. I thought you only get one MMA debut, so just grab it with both hands. But yeah, I'd love to be in the Outback and Beyond, fighting at 4 o'clock again, but taking out my hands.
What's going to make you most happy come the final bell? Is it a win by points, a win by knockout, or a win by submission?
Oh yeah, look, I'm just going for the win. I think it's look, I'd love to go in there and win by spinning back kick, head kick, or rear naked choke. And if it happens, it happens. I'd be ecstatic. But look, just a win's good enough for me at this point.
How much of the tape you watched on your opponent, Vargas?
She's had for the first time in a long time. My opponent's a lot more experienced than me. She's had 3 fights, 1 win, and her 1 win was a 15-second KO, so she can whack, obviously. But I remember, like, even all the lads and Tom and everyone said in the gym, you don't get journeymen, journey women in MMA, where in boxing, they kind of pad your record, 5 fight, 10 fights in. Whereas this, everyone's good at something because there's so many different disciplines. So, look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going in with a bit of a killer.
How much of the MMA world have you been watching? How much of the past fights have you been watching the lead up to your debut?
To be honest, I'm not a mad MMA fan. Obviously, I've watched Tom, I've watched Conor McGregor's, the people who I know, I've tuned in and watched Molly McCann. I like Paddy the Baddy, so I watch them a lot. But obviously, now because I'm doing it and I'm kind of a little bit hooked, I find myself going back and even my Instagram Explorer is just full of MMA clips.
Speaking of June 8th, how many of your boxing colleagues are going to be there ringside supporting you? Can you name any of the names that are going to be there on fight night?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'll have to just wait and see.
How about Peter Fury? Will he be there?
Oh, I thought you meant fighters. Yeah, Peter's coming. So Peter's going to be there. He's quite excited, really excited.
Yeah, weird one for Peter being on the outside looking in as opposed to being so close to you in your boxing career.
To be honest as well, he's been really... When the opportunity come, I joked about it and said I felt like he pushed me into it. I felt like he wanted a bit of a break from me, but he's been really open and I'm still training with Peter once a week. I'm still doing a bit of boxing sparring and then coming in here and doing the MMA sparring. So I'm excited for him to see how I've progressed.
How about Claressa Shields? I believe you gave her a verbal invitation. She accepted. She said she'd be there ringside. Is she confirmed coming?
I'm not sure. I hope she can come. Said previously I sat there and rinsed her on her debut, so she's got to come and do the same for me.
A statement sent as a plan there to get the win by however it is, but want to send the statement directly to her with the win?
Oh, 100%. But look, like I said, I'd take a win in any which way at the minute.
How close do you feel that fight will be? You get the win under your belt. Do you feel you need a few more before it's Claressa Shields, or would you want it as soon as?
I think it's all about what happens on June the 8th. What do they say? Everyone's got a plan that they get hit in the face with a 4-ounce glove. So we'll just get June the 8th out the way and then go from there.
Is that the same with continuing the boxing career? If this MMA debut goes really well, you might just keep putting boxing to the side and continue with MMA, or might you look to do a bit of both, one leg in both?
There's talks of me fighting in October in the boxing ring. So it's just whether or not that comes off. I will just have to see what happens.
So just get your thoughts quickly on a couple of things in the wider boxing sphere. First of all, rewind your mind back a couple of weeks to Fury versus Usyk. I know you've been deep in your training camp, but did you have an opportunity to take a break and watch that fight? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I did. I thought, wow, what a guy Usyk is. What a massive heart, a smaller man. And I think, was it round 6 or 7? I thought Tyson had him. and he come back, and I thought he deserved the win.
Rematch the right choice for Fury?
I'd be more interested to see if he comes back or whether or not he walks away. I think it was an hard fight for him, and does he want it again? He said previously in his interview after he's earned a lot of money, getting punched in the head, all that. So I'll be more interested to see if he actually takes the rematch.
A lot of fallout from the boxing public regarding the corner and the apparent chaos in the corner now. I spoke to Peter in the past, and you said to me that with his corners, it's me who talks. He's got established heads with the likes of John Pegg in there as well, but if anyone else talks, you're out the door, and it's just one voice, and it's me. Do you feel that, looking at that corner, that maybe there was some conflicting messages and something needs to change there if you're looking to get success in the rematch?
Yeah, 100%. He had the likes of Andy Lee, Sugar was there, and it just the cut man was talking, his dad was screaming. I'm not surprised. He even said he was under the illusion that he was winning going into the last round, and I'm not surprised with all that going on.
Coming back to yourself, with this MMA debut coming very rapidly, have you had any other boxing fighters, boxing colleagues say to you, what's this about? What's the story about? Do you think I should try it? Have you had any of those conversations with anyone else?
No, not really. I think it's kind of... I think a lot of women... Well, look, I'm at a heavier weight than the likes of the lightweights. The welterweight division at the minute is absolutely buzzing with Lauren Price, Sandy Ryan, Tasha Jonas, whereas it's not like that for me. There's one or two in the upper divisions, and that's it. So really, it's kind of, I'm just going where the opportunities are, where the other girls have got loads of opportunities. So they're probably looking at me thinking, I don't blame her. Fair play.
So I'm going to leave the final word with you. June 8th against Mirella Vargas. What happens in your MMA fight? A bit weird to say, but what happens?
Savannah Marshall win. And she's now an MMA fighter 1-0.
Savannah, looking forward to it. All the best. Thanks for speaking to SecondsOut. Wishing you luck.